Joanne Klopfenstein, North Liberty, Indiana. I'm 40. I was diagnosed at 40 because I was diagnosed in August of this year. I am not quite 2 months past bilateral mastectomies. My life today is pretty new on the other side of cancer because I'm only 8 weeks on the other side of cancer. I was diagnosed in August, and this is early December, and I went in for a routine mammogram. I've had them done for about the past 5 years because I had a glandular cyst in my right breast about 5 years ago that I noticed and went in right away and had a mammogram, and they did a little extra testing, found out it was not cancer, but told me that I should have a mammogram done every year after that, so I did every year. And so this year was my first official 40-year-old mammogram, and you know, I've had them done for 5 years, so I just thought it was a good reason to get dressed up and go to town for a change because I'm a stay-at-home mom. And so I went and had my mammogram done, went shopping, had a great time, got a call the next morning saying that my mammogram showed microcalcifications, and not to panic, but that microcalcifications are 80% normal, nothing to worry about, but the kind I had, the doctor was worried about them. So I needed to come back in. So I went back in, and they, oddly enough, when I went back in, the mammogram tech had no idea why I was there because she said from my films she saw nothing. She went and, my old films, she went and talked to the doctor who read them, and she came back and she said that the digital mammogram computer said there was nothing there, but the doctor was sure he saw something and she couldn't see it, and to magnify the views. So she magnified the views, took them back to the doctor again, and he said, I see it, plain as day. She still didn't see it. But anyway, they set me up for a biopsy because he was sure he saw something. And when I came in for my biopsy, I saw a different doctor. And even from the magnified views, he couldn't see anything. So the mammogram machine missed it, and this new doctor wasn't seeing anything. He was kind of acting like he wasn't really sure why I was there. But they positioned me for the biopsy, and when they went in, they found all kinds of microcalcifications. And I think that they could tell right there it was cancer because the whole demeanor in the room changed. And as they were dressing me back up afterwards, the nurse told me that it looked like I would probably be facing a mammogram, and a mastectomy, and that they don't normally tell people that, but she said that she could tell that I would want to know and could take it, and she was right. I wanted to be prepared. And so by the time I got my call from the doctor's office from the biopsy saying that it was cancer, I was ready to go. I was, how do we do this? And let's get it done. And we have a very strong history of cancer, and I'd always thought in my mind that I would end up with cancer. My grandma died of breast cancer. And I was really actually very relieved that they found it because I thought it was going to happen sometime. And they found it very, very early, obviously. The machine didn't pick it up. A doctor, from the views didn't even see it, but this other doctor did. And the only bad news is that it was just spread everywhere in my left breast, which oddly enough, my right breast was the one that I had been getting mammograms for these past 5 years, and it didn't have cancer in it. But since it was sprinkled everywhere, they had to do a mastectomy. They couldn't, because I was just thinking, well, we'll just do a little radiation or something. But so they had to do a mastectomy, and I went ahead and had them both removed so I wouldn't have to ever worry about it. And also, oddly enough, I had a heart attack 2 years ago due to a birth defect because I'm very, very healthy, strangely enough. But I have a metal implant in my heart. Then they said I should not have radiation in my chest. And also, I chose to have the good breast removed because you'd have to have MRIs done, and I can't have MRIs to my chest either. So I was very, very fortunate that it was caught so early that just by removing the breast, they got it all. My biggest fear, of course, was leaving my family. I was prepared probably by my heart attack 2 years ago to face death myself, but I have 3 children, 10, 12, and 14, and I homeschool them, so their lives would just completely change, and my husband has always had a stay-at-home wife taking care of him for 22 years now, so they wouldn't do well without me. and I had to survive. That was it. I had a tremendous peace that everything was going to be all right no matter what. And I have a great faith, and I have a great church family to support me, and my own family, my mom, my sister, just everybody around me. I can't imagine going through this alone because I had nothing but support and wonderful faith that just everything was going to be all right. I had such peace that I can't even explain it, really. Everything, I just had this feeling that everything, no matter what, was going to be all right. And the no matter what is even if I didn't make it, even if it was bad, it was going to be okay. And I still have some other medical problems they've discovered. And actually right now I'm waiting for another biopsy to come back on another area of my body, but I'm okay. I kind of, my friends think I'm a little strange because I just have this, it's going to be okay no matter what feeling. Well, I've always known that I was physically strong. I lift weights and bike ride and run and all that stuff. But now I know I'm emotionally strong. And I know that I can take physical pain and emotional pain, which is it just puts you at a more calm place in your life, just to know that you can handle it. Because I know that no matter what happens, and there's still things happening, it's going to be okay. I'm only 8 weeks past my surgery, so I can't say that it's really dramatically changed me other than slowing down and maybe saying no to some obligations that, and not feeling bad about it, thinking, these aren't really important things in life, and I need to concentrate on the things that are important in life and make sure that I have time to do those properly.
What would you like to tell other women that are newly diagnosed or someone that's too afraid to seek treatment?
Well, I would say, the earlier the better. So don't be afraid if you are diagnosed and you're catching it as early as you can. I mean, that's the first step. My cancer, they said, was there probably 6 years, and yet it was so early that by just removing it, I didn't need any more treatment. I don't need any radiation. I don't need any chemo. So cancer isn't the scary word that it was back when I was, a teenager and my grandmother was diagnosed. And I would say that it was so much easier than what I thought it was going to be to have bilateral mastectomies. I couldn't believe it. Everything has been so much better than I thought it would be. I've had pretty much a smile on my face through the whole thing, and that's pretty tremendous to say.